tanks off, done the repairs, ready for some primer. Go. 3 coats of high build, all done, looks nice, all the filler works nice, no problems, no issues. There you go, tank, seat unit, all looks nice, no problems, no issues. Got a bit of a dribble there, look, but we'll sort that. And then we've got to get paint in there, which is going to be, that's going to be fun, I can tell you. But yeah, no worries. That's all done. So yeah, we'll block that all now. What we'll use is we'll use a soft block over the fillered areas. Make sure they're blocked flat. And then we'll perhaps do the rest by hand. So yeah, all good, no problems. That's kind of phase 1 complete. Primer done, good job. There you go, underside of the tank done, just black. That'll dry to a nice satin finish. Really nice stuff this is, goes on anything. Bare metal, painted surfaces, wood, glass, plastic, yeah, really good stuff, really hard wearing as well. So bottom of the tank, and we've got the inside of the seat unit. So that's another little step done. Good job. Right then, we've got this tank all in primer. As you saw in the previous clips, it's all primed down. So what we're going to do now is put a guide coat on it. So the reason for the guide coat is basically it shows you where you flatted. I mean, you can see where you flatted generally. Maybe darker primers are maybe easier, so dark greys or blacks. You can see when you flat it, it goes light. But generally you put a guide coat on and it shows you all your highs and lows. And any peel left in the primer or any pinholes that you might have. So yeah, so we fire this on. Let's get on there. So it's just it's like a charcoal dust. Pretty simple. You can use a light aerosol spray paint over it. We generally use this. So that gives it a guide coat, like it says. It guides you to what you're doing. So we fire that on. And then we've got a soft block here. So it's kind of spongy, but not too spongy, so that it doesn't ride over any repairs. Generally, you would use a hard block, but because this tank's got so much shape in it, you don't want the block to be too hard, else when you're blocking it out, you'll end up with like ridges in it. So it's, I think people think maybe paint's quite thick. It generally isn't, and it will show up, you know, the minimal amount. So yeah, so the light's not great in there, but we'll have a little go with this. Let's just find my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. That's better. So there we go. So you just basically block, so you can see sort of half the peel going there, but it's kind of gone there. Actually, the light's not great in here for this, but you get the idea. So yeah, so we've got a nice softish block on it, and we'll just block the flatter areas with this block. This is 400 grit, or P400, whatever you want to call it. And generally, if you can, you want to try and go diagonally. Actually, you can do what you like, but if you can, I always like to sort of go diagonally rather than going straight all the time. Sometimes you can still get ridges, but diagonally is generally your best bet. Obviously you can't always do that, but where you can, it does pay to do it. So we'll just do this little bit on the top here. So there was a little repair on there. There was a little dink in the top. So we'll block this out. I mean, although it was it was a little dent in the top, but actually, by the time you filled the little dent there, it's better to just graduate the filler out more. A lot of the time you see like a little dent will be filled and it will be rubbed out, and you'll see a real hard edge around the dent. Well, generally, that usually means you've taken too much filler out. So you'll have a little highish ridge. So when you put your primer on, you may still see that dent. Generally, if you've got enough primer on, it'll block out. But yeah, it doesn't hurt to put, to not knock too much of the filler out. I mean, this is minuscule in this thing. But you guys can't see, but I can see that has gone completely. That is blocked out really, really nicely. Like that. Yeah, no problems there. And then we'll just round over the edge gently. Like that. And maybe we can just block a little bit of this front section here. Again, little tiny nick in this around the front, but now it's blocking out. There's no signs whatsoever. And then once we've blocked these little bits, I will then go over it by hand with a really soft backed sandpaper. We'll probably do that with 500, and then I'll whip over it again by hand with a bit of 800. So there you go. We've got the main areas there done. fold the paper in half. And we'll just go over, just gently over that edge, so that the edge is nicely rounded. Again, we've got an edge there. We'll go over. And then this one down here. I'm obviously not going to record all this because for those of you that haven't switched off or fallen to sleep, it's quite a long process really, especially when you're doing a car. Tanks and that, not quite as bad. So we've got this line here. Again, you guys are struggling to see this. I can't tilt the tank either because I've tied it down, but so this line, still trying to keep it going diagonal. You kind of try and follow the curve. Very hard to explain doing flatting and bodywork. Generally, you do find your own way of doing things, which is fine. I suppose really you do have to do what suits you best really and gets the best results. But there we go, look. So that's done that. Right. I'll come back with a soft pad and we'll have a look at that. And there we go. That's the foam paper. Just got a real thin foam back to it, 500 grit. And then we're just going to go over this really gently by hand. What you do normally is do all your blocking with 400 first over the whole area and then go over it with your finer grades. As I'm just kind of showing you one little bit. We'll just do this now. So there we go. And I should also have my mask on, but if I put that on, you're not going to hear a thing. Maybe that's better. Who knows? And that's it. Okay. And then we'll do that with 800. And that's the flatting done. But yeah, that's basically it. So I'll do that, I'll finish that. And that'll be the next stage done. There you go, look. Hopefully you guys can see that a bit better now. So we've got nice lines through there. No kind of, 50 pin as they call it. It's all nice and soft. These lights really show up everything. There's actually you can see it here. That's actually the shape of the tank there, but these lights highlight it so much. There you go. So we'll do that to the whole tank. And that's it. Job done. And there we have the seat unit. That's all flatted back as well. All ready to go. Well, it's quite hard doing this, holding one thing with one hand and holding the camera or phone with the other. You'll have to bear with me. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that's flatted. And we've got a little tiny bit on that corner. Just there. That went through to the metal. So before we paint that, we put a spot primer over that so that it seals it. And yeah. So that's done as well. There we go, tank's all done. So that was flatted with 400 on the soft block, then 500 foam pad, and then 800. So that's all done now. That's all ready for masking out. We'll mask the filler cap again, and then we'll drop some paper from the bottom underneath there. So yeah, that is now ready for paint. So yeah, hopefully next time we see it, it'll have some sort of colour on it, and then the masking stage really. So yeah, hopefully next time we'll get colour on.